everything. He will like go to the detail in the seconds.
During Buddha's time, I believe they study astrology also, right?
Yeah.
That's why it says the monks it's not a correct livelihood for monks to see signs and stars and all that.
Yeah, not to do it for like fortune telling and so on. Yeah, but however, because last time there isn't GPS, so they need to rely on certain astrology or astronomy to navigate their way from.
So Bhante, this particular profession, right? It is not good for monks, but it is not forbidden for lay people, right?
Not forbidden. Yeah, not forbidden. Because it's more addressed to the monastics on the right livelihood.
Okay, but it does not negate that there is some truth in it, right?
Yeah, there might be some truth, but the whole idea is not to have the monastic to spend too much time on these more or less circular kind of truths.
Okay. Yeah. But actually, it is not really secular, right? It can also be religious because, for example, the timing of the certain things, right? Even in Buddha's life, it is recognized. For example, when he will get born, and then when will be, there is a prediction, on that, right?
Yeah, correct.
So it can also be used for something which is not secular.
Yeah, what I meant was not really in line with the Four Noble Truths, with regard to the reduction of craving.
Yeah, okay.
So a person can like do this fortune reading to be more greedy, to get more money and that kind of stuff. So it's not really in line with spiritual practices.
Right.
And it may be, supernatural or a bit metaphysical, but not spiritual enough. Yeah.
Yeah, but the point is this: even Buddha make prediction, right? See certain thing. Okay, you will be this kind of person. You will be that kind of person in the future.
Yeah,
so,
but there's an end goal in mind. So sometimes in the Mahayana tradition, they call this expedient means. Like if let's say if by doing so, by sort of bending the rules a bit, is he able to help the other person to have more, able to see the truth, something like that. Yeah.
I think there's no sound just now. Can't hear.
You can't hear. Can you hear?
Yeah, I can't hear just now.
Yeah. So what I was saying, like in the Mahayana tradition, they were talking about expedient means. So things like you can bend the rules a bit so that you can help to liberate the person. So like the other example will be this Venerable Pindola. The other extreme example is like, he did display his abilities to fly and get the wooden bowl. And he accepted the challenge. This rich merchant that doesn't believe there's any practitioner with psychic abilities. So he flew and he got the bowl. Then he got reprimanded by the Buddha because it doesn't help to sort of enlighten the merchant. He just fulfilled his desire to see the challenge only. Yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah, so I think it's 8:34. We let Terence kick off.
Q2 and good evening, everyone. Welcome to MSBS Weekly Guided Meditation by Phra Goh. Today is the 25th of May 2021, the Vesak Eve. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish everyone a very happy and may safe Vesak 2021. May we all be liberated like Lord Buddha. We are very fortunate to have with us Bhante Adhibalo, popularly known as Phra Goh. Bhante was born on July 14, 1985, and had his bhikkhu ordination into the Theravada tradition of Thai Dhamma sect at Santi Forest Monastery, Johor, 2008. Bhante is currently the Vice President of Wat Palelai Buddhist Temple, Singapore. Since today is Vesak Eve, Bhante will be sharing the life of the Buddha Siddhartha Gautama. Bhante will be leading the homage to the Buddha and taking of 5 precepts for Buddhists. Now let us compose our mind for our palms together and welcome Bhante. Bhante.
Okay, thank you, Terence, for the introduction. So we shall move on with the opening chant, homage. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. 3 refuges. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami. And the 5 precepts. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kamesu miccācara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, good evening, everyone, and today we'll be starting this new topic for this Vesak Day, because today is Vesak Eve, and there's a request to talk about Vesak, right? And we just ended the series on multi-traditions, same liberation. So tonight we'll start off with this topic, and of course, for Buddhists all around the world, we celebrate this Vesak Day. And it's to commemorate 3 events. 3 events, the birth, starting from the right to the left, the birth of the Buddha, and the middle is enlightenment, and eventually on the left is passing away. So this is the 3 main events which we are commemorating and we'll be sort of discussing for today. Yeah? So today will be more of like a personal sharing. I won't be too academic. Yeah, of course, there's lots of academic kind of presentations and perspectives on the life of the Buddha. And of course, there's the very traditional kind of story, like kind of biography of the Buddha, which I won't touch because today it's more like a meditation kind of session. So hopefully I can talk a bit more on the cultivation aspect. All right, so we shall start off. First slide. Okay, so we know that Buddha images, right, came along 600 years after the Buddha's passing away. So the solid evidence is mainly based on the pilgrimage sites initially. When the Buddha, even when he was around, he encouraged his followers to you can revere these 4 holy sites. So you're going to start from the left, then we go clockwise. So the left top is the Lumbini at Nepal, so that's his birthplace. And this Mahadevi temple, if I'm not wrong, it's only in the 1990s. Then the chief archaeologist at that time discovered the exact spot of the Buddha's birthplace. Before that, they just have this Asokan pillar. You can see the pillar on the left, right? And people will be hanging around the pillar and they think, okay, that is the birthplace. Yeah, it's around there, but they haven't figured out where's the exact spot. It's only in the 1990s. Then I happened to meet this Dr. Basanta Bidari. Yeah, so he's the chief archaeologist at the time. So he discovered the exact spot. So it's inside this Mahadevi temple. And on the right will be his place of enlightenment, Mahabodhi temple at Bodh Gaya. So it's in the modern India. And if you go down, there will be this Dhammika Stupa at Sarnath. So that is his first discourse. By Vesak Day, we don't celebrate this event. So this will be another event called the Asalha Puja, the Dhamma Day. Buddhists, we have this triple jam, so each jam has a special holiday. So in the Theravada tradition, Vesak Day, the Buddha Day is the Vesak Day, Dhamma Day is this Asalha Puja, and the Sangha Day is this Magga Puja. So the on the left will be this Maha Parinirvana temple at Kusinara. So this is his place of passing away. Just to see a show of hands, how many of you been to these pilgrimage sites before? Never. Okay, so there might be now virtual tour. I give you free virtual tour now COVID. Yeah? So everything is free now. You can look. And interestingly, if you look and faith arises, you show your reverence, and faith arises, you're creating good karma. Yeah, so besides these 4 holy sites, the Buddha mentioned a person can worship the Bodhi tree, which is inside this Mahabodhi temple, or nowadays the saplings are sort of brought all around the world. His footprint, or the Dharma wheel, or his relics. So these are some of the objects of worship before the Buddha images were sort of invented. Okay, so the next slide. Okay, so now I'm talking about the birth stories. Okay, and starting from the very left would be this depiction of Bodhisattva. Before the Buddha was born, he's in this Tusita heaven. Tusita heaven. So this is where the sort of Buddhas to be would be sort of residing and waiting for their time, at least for this eon, if I'm not wrong. So his lifespan is about to be up, then he has to choose, with his, according to the story, with his abilities to look for a suitable candidate. And according to the suttas, all the candidates, all the past Buddhas chose India. The future Buddhas also choose India. So all the rest of the countries seem pretty hopeless, not spiritual enough, or the energy is not right, whatever it is. Okay, so they chose India, lots of ascetic practitioners, very conducive to gain liberation. So he chose find a suitable class, influential family, and he was this virtuous woman. So this the mother, Queen Maha Devi, received this premonition in a dream. This elephant coming down, signifying the consciousness entering the womb. And according to the story, once the consciousness enters the womb of this mother, the mother's personality will change, become a more wholesome person. So it is trying to say that the Bodhisattva practiced for so long, so many eons, and his virtue and goodness is so much that just by being close to another person, it will affect their behavior. Right, so sometimes we talk about sort of dedicating marriage to guardian deities, guardian devas. There's a reason. So if you're a practitioner, these guardian devas come near to you, and depending on their emotion, they might affect you. So the decisions we make may not be consciously our decision alone. Sometimes it may be affected by unseen forces. Unseen forces, yeah. So I'm just giving a balanced point of view. Yeah, I won't try to be the over skeptic or the supernatural things I just throw away, or the over faithful. Everything must believe to the letter. So I just present the scriptures and some of my opinion only. Yeah, some of my opinion. Okay, so the Bodhisattva once entered the mother's womb, the mother become very virtuous, follow the 5 precepts very purely, and it is only after the birth, right, on the picture on the right, she's given birth standing up. There's a lot of divine intervention. And it is said that the 4 heavenly kings were guarding the baby in the womb throughout all the time, the fetus, and upon the delivery, right, the deities were the first to receive the baby, first to catch the baby, and the baby is able to walk 7 steps. Walk 7 steps, right? So I believe we have discussed this in some of the previous sessions, I think before the official time, that how is it possible, right? A baby can walk 7 steps. So, of course, in the scriptures, it's mentioned he can walk 7 steps and he can even talk. I declare that he, amongst the heaven and the earth, he's the oldest, he's the highest. Right? So it's trying to symbolize that you reach enlightenment this lifetime. So he can even talk, right? So no ordinary human can do it. So traditionally, we treat the Buddha as a superhuman, right? So if you want to take it by the route of blind faith, then of course, it's got to do with mystical forces, divine forces. But even to be a bit more scientific or skeptic, nowadays there's these documentaries about ancient aliens and the kind of stuff. That could be one possible theory. I'm open to changing scientific opinion. Then, of course, if you want to analyze the past few Buddhas, they were of the same caste system, at least for this eon, the first 4 family lines, the first 4 Buddhas, right? And the second clan were very proud to declare they were the children or the inheritors of the sun gods, inheritors of the sun god. So it is to say that they have very special genetic pool, very special genetic pool. So once in a blue moon, when the conditions are right, maybe like what Jan has mentioned, the alignment of the stars are right and everything, and just nice, then this particular set of genes will trigger, and this special baby is being conceived. And why is so special? This special set of genes, this baby has 32 marks of the body. 32 marks of the body. So the features aren't very human-like. The features aren't very human-like. So if you read through the 32 marks of the body, it's not an ordinary human features, right? Like we know, like in some of the drawings, like there's a lump on the head, the hair curling to the right, and that kind of stuff, and the ankles are way higher than normal humans, and that kind of stuff. So a bit like the Avatar movie, the alien's feet is very high, right? So something like that. The heels are very high. So and the heel, the sole of the feet has something like a birthmark of this wheel, like this 1,000 spoked wheel, 1,000 spoked wheel, right? So again, astrologers came to do this phrenology, birthmark reading. Come on, if I were the parents of this kind of child, I will also be curious. Hey, is this normal and what? The child can walk and talk. So you need some expert to consult, get advice from some maybe the spiritual leaders. What is this child? Why is he so special? Also, of course, the first Asita, the hermit, mentioned that he will be a great spiritual leader, and he will cry, have no chance to meet the Buddha to receive teachings. Then, of course, the king not satisfied. That time, it was very popular in that culture to seek for a wheel-turning monarch, a universal ruler. Universal ruler. That means this person or this being will have the ability to conquer at least the world or the universe, right? And you can reference this to the Greater Alliance Roar Sutta, right? So there are very different interpretations of what is this wheel treasure. So the 1,000-spoked wheel, even in the King Asoka's carving, he erected this pillar, a 1,000-spoked wheel in Asokan pillar. It is not the Dharma wheel. The Dharma wheel has 8 spokes. This is the wheel treasure. They're aspiring to be this universal emperor, right? So this universal emperor, 1,000-spoked wheel, is not a divine thing, right? So the astrologers or the phrenologists predicted that this child has 2 paths. One is this universal ruler, and the second path would be he'll be a Buddha, a great spiritual leader. Right? So only a Buddha can turn the Dharma wheel. Only the Buddha can turn the Dharma wheel. Right? If a universal monarch can turn the Dharma wheel, then that would be the best. He conquered all the land and turned the Dharma wheel, and peace for all. Yeah? Better than the Amitabha Buddha already. He can turn the whole world into his land and turn and get everybody to follow his teachings. But I don't think that's the case for our current Buddha. So there's 2 life choices. So this wheel treasure with 1,000 spokes, according to this Greater Alliance Roar, can disappear. It's a physical object. It can disappear when the king doesn't follow certain protocols. When he's not righteous enough, the wheel will disappear. That means he's not worthy to possess this wheel treasure. And also in that particular sutta, this Greater Alliance Roar, whenever the wheel spins in a certain direction and he goes to that direction, he'll conquer that land. The soldiers or the armies or the resistance of that opposing land will straightway drop their weapons and kneel down and hey, the land is yours, welcome king. All right, so this wheel is not the Dharma kind of wheel. So it's my personal interpretation, it's more likely a flying saucer. It's a very advanced kind of weapon. Once it flies to that land, nobody will challenge them. No one wants to challenge that weaponry. It's too advanced, too advanced. So of course, being in the human flesh, they are more like a medium, an agent, a middleman between the devas who own that technology and to the human realm. So the universal monarch are something in that kind of position. So at least this is my personal opinion. Okay, so these are the two pathways. So our historical Buddha is destined not to be the Buddha. So of course, that's why we have Buddhism. And I won't talk about his entire life story because it's just 3 events, right? The birth, enlightenment, and passing away. So in between, you know, how he got married and all this kind of stuff. I won't go into detail, but what is most astounding is he's able, right? He's able to, we move on to the next slide. Have some self-reflection. Have some self-reflection. Of course, when he was 7 years old, he was already very spiritual, able to meditate under the tree, according to the suttas, enter the first level of this jhana with the breath meditation, right? Without anybody teaching him. Even now in these meditation classes, you must guide, and some people still, who knows, may not even be able to achieve concentration and whatever not, right? But he can self-taught, very natural as a child. So that is his merit, his karma. So again, when he was old enough age, when he was like a prince, if I'm not wrong, when did he leave the palace? 29, if I'm not wrong, yeah, 29. So around that age, or slightly before that, he was like touring around the city and he saw the 4 sites. The closest reference I can find is Vipassi Buddha went out for a tour and saw the 4 sites. So I assume or I presume our historical Buddha did the same thing. Most of the traditional accounts of our Buddha also did the same thing, right? He went out and saw the 4 sites. So what are the 4 sites? He saw the old age, the old man in the diagram. He saw a sick man, a dead man, and a monk. So he saw 4 sites. 4 sites. So there were already monastics, monks. Right? So the first 3 sites got him worried. He asked his charioteer, what's this? And he got a bit upset. What's this about? So that works for the Vipassi Buddha when their lifespan was 10,000 years or several thousand years or more than that. So they need time to process old age. But of course, if you want to talk about our own historical Buddha, probably he was already thinking about this topic long enough. So what astounded him was the monk. First time he saw a monk. So in that time, the historical context is that these shamanas or these ascetics were something like a hot topic. It's a very new, very in thing, very popular path to go when too much ritualism in, let's say, in Brahmanism, right, doesn't give the people answers they seek. So at that point of time, these meditators, forest dwellers gain more popularity. So of course, it is his first time. The prince Gautama saw this monk, and he was interested. Oh, what is he doing? Right. So can he find the truth to escape this birth and death? So he was contemplating birth and death. Eventually, he decided to follow that path, become a something like a monastic. You want to live the palace life, right? So we are going to talk about a lot of these birth, aging, decay, and death, very important. So before the Buddha got enlightened, this was his very first contemplation. So by contemplating on this, he's able to renounce his luxurious life. How many of you are ready to give up your secular life like straight away? Maybe not so, right? You need some conditioning, some reflection, and this contemplation of birth and death is a very powerful tool. So being like a princely status is able to give up this princely life or this luxurious life and go into this asceticism, right? So we are going to talk about this birth and death, this concept a lot. And of course, during his enlightenment, also the same thing. He recollected his past lives, also many birth and deaths. So that also contributed to him reducing craving. And after he got enlightened, also the same thing, reduce the craving. So again, now it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to stop the theoretical sharing because we have still many Tuesdays to go. We can share the other stories at a later time. Of course, it's injustice for me to shorten the Buddha's life of 80 years into these few short minutes of discussion. But tonight we just talk about the birth. Any other questions on the ground? I leave Terence and the floor to ask questions or any comments on the Facebook.
There's one Bante from Facebook side.
Yeah.
Bante and everyone. For almost 30 years, since 1990, I've been doing 3-step one bow for world peace at KMSPKS on Vesak Eve. Perhaps the pandemic is a sign for us to do individual practice. TTT. We all have a very blissful Vesak day tomorrow. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
All right. Okay. Very sadhu to you. So in this, I heard some people, they like athletes, they run and they do their marathon training at home. They can't go out to exercise, and some of them have this stay home notice, so they exercise at home. So in the quarantine, if you are unable to celebrate or do this 3-step one bow in the temples or monasteries, you can do it at home, no problem. Or you can do stationary kind of prostrations, that will work as well. Yeah. Okay, any questions on the ground?
I think I have one.
Yeah.
Like the 32 marks of the body, isn't it under the Jains, those practices? Yeah, that's what they believe. Is it what the Buddha made the psychic ability for the Brahmin to see that marks?
Yeah, these 32 marks again is a very hot, popular, well sought after thing in India at that time. They were all looking for the universal king. So that's what they aspire to look. Again, there are many perspectives. This is again just my opinion. It can be a physical mark, or it can be a astral body kind of mark, a divine body kind of mark, a mind-made body kind of mark. Could be another take on it. Yeah.
Why I comment is because one of the sutta, there's another monk that came and met Buddha, and he's like a normal person. You see. There's no special human physical difference from other human beings?
Yeah, that is like assumption, that the monk treated the Buddha like an ordinary person, or treat him as though he looked ordinary, right? There one of the sutta is this, the analysis of the 4 elements. So it was like, I think it's in a cart or in a shed where this new monk met the Buddha. He never seen the Buddha before, and he was like sitting on the grass patch, and he saw the Buddha. He said, "Hey, come, friend, let's you can sit and join me, meditate together." So he didn't know that was the Buddha. So the Buddha asked the monk, which particular doctrine or which particular school did you ordain under? So he said, I ordained under this Gautama Buddha. Then he asked, have you seen the Gautama Buddha before? Never. So he ordained under one of his disciples, if I'm not wrong. So never met the Buddha before. So the Buddha gave him some teaching on the 4 elements, and he got enlightened. Then he asked, are you the Buddha? Right. So and the Buddha responded, yes, no, he's the Buddha. So again, of course, it might be also a possibility that the monk doesn't want to jump to a conclusion because there's no mentioning of the physical appearances. And of course, there's another scenario in the sutta where a certain king came to see the Buddha. He also haven't met the Buddha before. Then there were so many monks, and and he was asking, which one is the Buddha? So I think it is some of the scholars take on it is, no, the Buddha looked like the rest of the monks. That's why he can't tell, right? But of course, logical take would be that, no, if he haven't met the Buddha before, it would be wise to be sure, at least you ask, who is the Buddha first? Instead of making a fool of himself, he just walk up to any monk and then and say, "Hey, are you the Buddha?" So I think it's polite to ask the monk opening the door, may I know which one is the Buddha? So that would be a more logical take on it. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, if
yes, Bante.
yes, healing.
During the night, the night when the night before the Buddha got enlightened, Buddha, he was having this battle with Mara, the demon. So
Yeah.
is this Mara a real demonic entity, or is he simply a representation, or is it just an abstract figure that it means that the Buddha, he was having an inner warfare, an inner warfare, a battle with his defilements?
Yeah, very good question. So again, I'll take the middle ground because I wasn't there to witness. So I would say both might be possible. Of course, in the suttas, there's mentioning the Buddha addressed his defilements as Maras and Mara's army. Yeah? So all the defilements like pride, greed, and so on, he mentioned them as Mara's army. So that could be one possibility. And of course, we don't want to exclude the various realms of existence, so that would be another possibility. Many a times, even after the Buddha got enlightened, the Mara's daughter came and tempted the Buddha. So there are supernatural entities trying to tempt the Buddha. So that supernatural beings, that would be a likely possibility as well. So there's both, yeah.
So eventually, Buddha, he won the battle, and he overcame those those demons that trying to subdue him.
Yeah, both.
Yeah. Understood. Thank you,
Bante, I have a comment on this. So based on my experience, I can say that Mara is real. Deva Mara is real. Yeah, I have that experience. I just want to say that.
Okay.
But of course, can also be interpreted as the internal defilements, right? This is the other take on it. But in terms of Deva itself, there is Deva Mara, then it is real. Okay, that's what I want to say.
Thank you, Jan, for sharing. Of course, very likely to be true because there are many accounts of malevolent devas, right? Malevolent devas. So, of course, if like yakas cannot harm human beings and so on, then I'm sure there are beings higher up with other kind of agendas.
I think the term Mara is one of the heavenly beings, right? Because there's Moggallana was once also a Mara before, where he got the stomach ache. The Mara come and disturb.
Yeah, because Mara means death. That's why we have the meditation Mara Nusati. Yeah, mindfulness on the contemplation of death. Yeah, we are subject to death one day. So that is the meditation contemplation. So this in the Theragatha or the Therigatha as well, the verses from the enlightened monks and nuns, most of them sort of encountered Mara and they try to disturb or kacau them, trying to find the weaknesses and loopholes, trying to tempt them. And most of them succeeded in conquering Mara. Right. So yeah, these are the accounts. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. If not, we can have a short break, 5-minute break. Then we can come back and do the guided meditation. Okay, I'm back. Let's wait for the others to return. So while waiting for the rest to come back from their breaks, any other comments or issues or questions? Yes, Sinwi, yeah.
Bante, I have a question. Why is it that the Mahayana and also Theravada, we celebrate the Vesak day on different day?
Oh, yeah. Very good point. Like mentioned earlier, yeah, before you logged in,
Oh.
Terence and I were having a discussion about this. So the Visakha Puja is more of a Theravada holy day. So the Theravadas have the Visakha Puja, Asala Puja, and the Magha Puja, right? So it's only like in the 1950s where this World Buddhist I think fellowship or something like that, and they came together and they want to present a holiday or a holy festival to the United Nations. So, but all the while before that, Mahayana Buddhism already has different holy days for the Buddha. Like his birthday is one day, his renunciation day another day, his enlightenment another day, his passing away another day, and so on. Yeah, so they have many holy days for the Buddha. So I think it is more easy to propose the Theravada holy day because it's just one day. So I think they picked this Visakha Puja as the choice. So in terms of at the national level, if let's say they are celebrating a holiday, not holiday, a holiday, and of course a holiday, then it will be this Vesak day. But other than that, you can celebrate as many holidays as you want.
So in Mahayana, the date for the birth, enlightenment, and parinirvana are three different dates.
Yeah, different dates.
But for Theravada, is fall on the same date.
Yeah,
but
3 in 1.
Buddha then born and enlightened on different date, or rather than just the same date? Or
it is to commemorate the 3 events, so likely it's not on the same day.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Anyway, in the Theravada Suttas, we don't have record on which day, which day or month. So we only started to count the like this Visakha Puja or whatever puja after his passing away.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I just want to ask Sinwi, is the Mahayana, they celebrate the Buddha's birthday every 3 months, right? The birthday, the enlightenment, and the death, like the Kuan Yin also same. I think every 3 months, the 3/19 and 6/19 or 9/19, something like that.
I don't know for sure. I apologize. I better not to quote it wrongly. But usually the Vesak day we do call it actually a Buddha birthday, so we call it 佛诞节. So the Buddha birth date, that would be last week. I want to say Tuesday or Wednesday. Was it right? I think it's last week because I went to Shilai Temple, but I don't remember we celebrate every 3 months though. Yeah, I think it's only once a year for Buddha's birthday. However, for every other Bodhisattva, right? Guan Yin, Dizhang, Wenshu, we do have their birth date and their when they are enlightened date, and oftentimes when they are become Chujia, as in when they are ordination.
Renunciation day.
Yeah, I think so. There are a few things that we celebrate, but I don't typically follow through. But I know that when that was the day they'll announce it, that oh, we are supposed to go and chant for different sutra. So yeah, I should come back to you with the answer.
All right, so we look forward to your answer next week. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay, I guess more or less everyone's here, and Yan just disappeared. And someone came in and typed something and disappeared as well. Okay, so if there's no other issues, we shall start with the guided session. So today's theoretical sharing is more like to establish the existence of the Buddha and have this faith factor. All right, we can use what the Buddha did, the important contemplation on this impermanence, birth and death. So that is like the recurring theme throughout his entire career, and also what we've been doing through the entire meditation series. Right, so it's first relax the body, make sure the back is upright. And we start off with some of the bodily contemplations, starting with the hairs. We are going to wish all the hairs well and happy from head to toe. Every time you think of a new patch of hair, then you need to generate this thought of loving kindness. Or never leave the mind idle. And all these hairs are subject to birth, aging, decay, and passing away. So they get dirty, oily, sweaty, and they grow long, they turn white, sometimes they crack, and they fall off. So you keep on thinking of the birth and death cycle many times. No need to think of how you groom your hair, how you wash your hair, and so on. No need. Just think of the birth and death cycle of the hairs many times. So the more birth and death cycles, the more detachment. And hopefully you can observe how the mind settles down. So the pathway of the mind settling will be actually going against the stream of desire. And whenever we cling on to any sense contact, then it will again go the other way, go with or go along with the stream of desire. So the mind will get agitated, it will rise up and go according to the way things are here. So we always have to be constantly mindful of impermanence. And we can, by observing the difference in the state of mind, we also can ask ourselves, are these hairs truly self? Can we tell the hairs not to go through birth and death? And the next part of the body, we are going to visualize the nails. We're going to wish all the nails, fingernails and toenails well and happy. And all these nails are subject to birth and death. And they grow long, get dirty, and they go through wear and tear, scratches, cracks. They even chip off. Every time you scratch on something, the nails, the cells will fall off. So keep on thinking of this birth and death cycle, nails growing and nails falling many, many times. And then we can ask ourselves, are these nails truly self? Can we tell the nails not to go through this birth and death? And next part of the body, we're going to visualize the teeth, all the teeth inside the mouth. May they be well and happy. All the upper rows of teeth and all the lower rows of teeth, may they be well and happy. And all the teeth are subject to this birth, aging, decay, and passing away. So they change in shape and size. They get dirty and they discolor, turn yellow, brown, and they decay, turn black. Start to have tooth cavities, they grow holes, and they get loose and shaky, and eventually they fall off. And we can ask ourselves, are these teeth truly self? Can we tell the teeth not to go through this birth and death? And then the next part of the body we're going to visualize is the skin. The entire skin from head to toe, may they be well and happy. So every time you visualize a new patch of skin, you need to wish it well and happy. And all the skin are subject to birth, aging, sickness, and passing away. So the skin will get oily, dirty, sweaty, they wrinkle, they crack when it's dry, and all kinds of skin problems, rashes, boils, pimples, etc. And the skin will eventually fall off. Every day lots of skin falling off. So you keep thinking of the birth and death of the skin cells. many times. And the more the merrier. And then we can ask ourselves, are this skin truly self? Can we tell the skin not to go through this birth and death? Okay, then the next phase of the meditation, we are not going to visualize. We are going to radiate loving kindness to the front. May all beings in front be well and happy. So no need to deliberately visualize or exert your attention to the front, just a gentle wish. And we come back to ourselves and we wish may all beings behind be well and happy. And we come back to ourselves. Then we wish may all beings on the left be well and happy. And we come back to ourselves. And then we wish may all beings on the right, may they be well and happy. And we come back to ourselves. And we are going to wish may all beings above be well and happy. And we come back to ourselves. And we wish may all beings below be well and happy. And we come back to ourselves. So this time round, we are going to suffuse the entire body from head to toe with loving kindness. Wish the entire body well and happy. So we're going to feel all the sensations inside the body. So any sensation that arises, we wish it well and happy. Treat all the sensations as passerby. No need to deliberately create them. No need to cling or push them away. Okay, and we remember this state of mind, restricted kind of loving kindness, and we are now trying to make it boundless. Yeah, so we're going to wish all beings above, below, and all across, all directions, simultaneously, may they be well and happy. All beings in the entire universe, no need to deliberately visualize, and no need to push or extend the mind, just a gentle wish. And the same thing, whatever sensation that arises, it can be within the body or outside the body, whatever that naturally occurs, that arises, you wish it well and happy, because all the concept of all beings is a mental formation. It is a perception. So you wish all the dharmas, all the sensations, well and happy. So as long as new sensation arise, well and happy, new sensation arise, well and happy. So keep generating the right thought and never leave the mind stagnant. So this is part of right effort. Yeah, right thought and right effort. So the effort is not about forcing or pushing, but consistency and repetition. So once we leave the mind idle, then the mind will naturally cling on to unskillful thoughts, things like daydreaming, worrying, and restlessness. So we have to keep the Eightfold Path in motion and do not leave the wheel stationary. So the more right thoughts we have, the more the mind will calm down and get closer to this state of boundless loving kindness. Some people think boundless means you have to stretch your mind, stretch your attention. So once we try stretching or extending the attention, if there is tension or stress, then that is actually restricting the mind. And that's no longer a boundless mind, yeah? So the other way to achieve boundlessness is to remove the boundaries. So we remove the boundaries by reducing craving. Okay, and if you want to go one step further to refine this loving kindness, then there's this thing called unconditional loving kindness. Because this boundless loving kindness is still treading on the 5 aggregates, making use of the 5 aggregates. But the unconditional loving kindness would require detachment of these 5 aggregates. So whatever sensation you feel, you have to observe the birth and death of all the arising sensations, arising and passing away. So every new sensation, think of impermanence, new sensation, impermanence. So whatever pleasant or peaceful experience, we just treat it as a sideshow. The main emphasis is to keep generating the right thoughts. So in this case, we keep on contemplating on impermanence, the birth and death of all the formations. It's not to reject the pleasant experience, and we don't cling to it as well. Clinging onto it will be this power tanha, craving for this eternalism and wanting to be in that peaceful state forever. So we keep it in view, like a sideshow. You know the conditions leading to the peace or calmness, but our emphasis is on impermanence, on the middle way. And now we can switch to the second sublime state, which is compassion. And we are wishing, may all beings, may they be free from suffering. So whatever sensation you feel, it can be inside the body or outside, whatever sensation that arises, you just wish it may be free from suffering. We wish all dharmas, all sentient beings, free from suffering. So as the mind gets calmer, you should get closer to this state of boundless compassion. And then we have this another higher level, this unconditional compassion, which again requires one to detach from the five aggregates. How to be truly free from suffering. We ourselves have to be free from distress and tension first. So the only way is to keep observing the birth and death, or the impermanence of all the formations. So compassion that doesn't cling can be quite a pleasant experience. So in whatever field you're in, sometimes the more you help people in whatever capacity you can, and the more you get worn out or burn out, and something is wrong, that means you're clinging. So you need to take a step back and detach yourself to recharge your mind. So for this case, in meditation, we don't need to think of any dramas or stories, or who and who is suffering, they're starving or they're sick, need to help them. We just observe all the sensations we'll do. It's more like reprogramming this philosophy or this mindset first. And we can be mindful of this impermanence, maintain this state of compassion to all beings, in a detached and wise manner, and we can gently open our eyes to physically conclude the session, right? But mentally we are meditating all the time. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. So again, we can advertise for tomorrow's session, but before that you can, any questions on the ground, any problems? No, if there's nothing, then Terence, do you have the poster for tomorrow? Tomorrow there's this great Metta Sit event, yeah? How many of you registered? Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow. So you'll be in evening time in America?
Yeah, I think, am I correct that it's, I put it down 6:45 to 7:45 my time. I think it's 7 then. I think 7 to 8 o'clock.
Oh, okay. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Terence? I'm still finding the screen. So Healing, are you joining for tomorrow?
I haven't seen the event yet.
Okay. So Terence is finding the poster and it's going to flash the poster from the previous session actually. Yeah, so this is the event. To join this great Metta Sit tomorrow, Vesak Day, right? There's this 15,000 minutes. So one person, 15 minutes. So no, one person, for every minute, somebody will donate $1 to this two charity organizations, this Firefly Mission, a humanitarian kind of charity organization, and next one is this Aranya Sangha Dana Fellowship. Right, it's a social cause to help elderly monastics in their homes, and so these are two organizations. So to come and join the session tomorrow, and you can type the website or you can save screen. Yeah. Okay.
You all can go to tinyurl.com/createmeta. I created the link to their
Okay.
login page.
Yeah. So once you save screen, then we can move on.
Okay.
Bante, I'm trying to register tonight past midnight that to try the Goenka meditation retreat. I think
Oh, okay.
house there's in Joshua Tree, which is about 1 hour. The 10 days Vipassana training.
Okay.
What have you heard anything about?
I heard before, yeah, I heard of it, but I haven't attended any of the sessions.
Okay.
So it's two birds in one stone.
I was picking up a bikini for vaccination, and the bikini was telling me and say, "Oh, try that," because she's from Myanmar lineage.
Okay.
We have
So
one.
it's Sayalay, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll try. But I heard it's very popular. So tonight I have to stay awake past midnight and go online and register and hope I
Okay.
will see, because my mind is just so over. I can see my monkey minds go all over. Could not meditate well, even though I can generate the goodwill, but just can't focus.
Yeah,
So.
practice in moderation and make sure you have sufficient rest.
Okay, I heard they do a very intense. I saw their schedule. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully. We'll see.
And the Burmese tradition is quite strict in their meditation retreat.
Mm.
Okay, all right. If there's nothing else, and Terence, we can conclude the session. Yeah, this Anumodana dedication of merits. Akasata Japumata Devanaga Mahitika Punyang Tang Anumoditva Chirang Rakantu Loka Sasanang Etavata Cha Amhehi Sampadang Punya Sampadang Sabe Deva Sabe Puta Sabe Sata Anumodantu Sapa Sampati Siddhya. Transference of merits to departed. Idam me nyatina hotu, sukita hontu nyatayo. Idam me nyatina hotu, sukita hontu nyatayo. Idam me nyatina hotu, sukita hontu nyatayo. Aspiration, imina punya kamena, mame bala samagamo, satang samagamo hotu, Yavani Banapatiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right, and happy Vesak day for tomorrow. And again, if there's holidays, happy Vesak holidays. And that's it. Anything for Terence to announce?
Yeah, if you are, there's a Visa event organized by TBCF. You can join us at 9 a.m. I'll be doing the technical. Okay, if you haven't do so, do register for Pante's meditation retreat happening in 26 and 27 June 2021. Okay, that's it for now, Bante. See you all next week.
Okay, see you all next
Continue
week.
the life of the Buddha.
Yep.
Good night.
All right.
Sadhu, Bante.
Sadhu, good night.